How are we all? Hope you're all doing well. Let me know how you're all going in the comments section in the stream. How are you, Jenny? Oh, it's been some glorious weather in Sydney now. It's been good, been good. A little bit of sunshine, just enjoying that. So look, let's get into it. If you're if this is the first time you're tuning into the market, you'd see that the bears are back. So does that mean it's a time to short? Look, it could. Before I go into the charts, though, I want to show you last 7 days across all the top 100. Look, red everywhere. Essentially, AVA's in the green for the last 7 days, but everything else looks like it's been selling off. Look at that, all in the top 100. I'm not going to go to the other ones, but just wanted you all to see that. So, what is going on? Is it a time to panic? Is it a time to sell everything? I wouldn't say just yet. It's not a time to panic. Anyway, it's not a time to panic even if it was a time to panic, per se. If you know how to trade, you know how to short. So, there's always opportunities out there. Let's begin. I'm good, Jenny. I'm fantastic. In case you don't know who I am, I'm Sam. I'm a mentor at TRADERCOBB, and I'm taking you through the top 10 right now. So there was a heap of selling, a little bit yesterday, but a lot the day before on the 20th of September. And we do have a downtrend now on the daily time frame on Bitcoin. Where are we sitting with the fib? So I'll get it from the high to the low. The 61.8% fib is right in the cradle zone here, but obviously it's a long way away. You just could see, where could it pull back to? That's the question. We're in the cradle zone now on the 2 hour, but we are divergent. The 4 hour has no trend. It's because you have a low, high, and then now just a lower low. There's no lower high in there, so there's no trend. I will take you through to the higher time frame. So we have a downtrend on the 2. How are you, Winston? The 3, not really much information, not really much telling us there. But as you go up the time frames, it's not the most. I was going to say it's not the most grim, but it's kind of a little bit in no man's land. You can count one movement here. That's what I'm doing personally. So we're in a little bit of no man's land. For me to be entirely bearish, we'd need to break this low here at around $28,000 for me to be entirely bearish. That's not to say that if short trades were to appear that I'm not going to take them. I definitely will if they appear, because we do have a downtrend on the daily, and that's all the confirmation I really need to go short if the short trades permit. If the short trades appear. Okie doke. Now, let's have a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum is. Oh no, I was going to say, I thought that was its high. Well, from its old high, in the most recent cycle, it's down 34% in total, or now about 27%, but over that span, down about 34%. So we have a downtrend on the daily, higher time frames, much of the same, but then you start to get here, and you also see that we don't really have a downtrend. We're looking more bullish on up to the 4-day anyway. The weekly, it's a bit like Bitcoin, a little bit undecided as it is right now. But what do we have here? Unlike Bitcoin, we do have a downtrend on this 4 hour. So I wouldn't be opposed if anything were to set up here. Look, this level. Okay. what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my fib and see where we sit. It's just a little bit out, but would be one to what it would be one to watch Ethereum, because it is one of the. No, I kind of jumped the gun a tad. I think jump the gun a tad here. Look, I'm just going to count that all as one movement. 4 hour does look good, but you know the 8 hour is not trending. The Winston said 15 hour breakout. So 15 minutes. If I find them, I will let you all know. But that could be something to offer. We come off quite hard last few days over with Cardano. We do have a downtrend on the daily, much like Ethereum and Bitcoin. How are you? How are you, Dan? Hey, Jeffrey. As you start to go up, you start to realize we're in no man's land. And look, actually looks quite bullish on the weekly, monthly. Although this is a big red candle, still looks decent. The overall trend I'm referring to anyway. The lower time frames aren't the most attractive, but we're in and around the cradle zone as it is right now. Pull back to the 61.8% fib. I'd count all that as one movement. Now we have a low here. Oh, but we are divergent, so that rules that potential one out. It would have to be something that we see here on the 8th. Would have been good if this played out better and we could use that level as a pullback into the cradle zone and trade something off that. But you don't always get what you want in this market, and that's what it is. Binance coin looking bearish like those before. Quite extended from the moving averages here on the daily. Yeah, we come off quite hard. In no man's land as it is, but nothing to worry about. Divergent on the 2, so that rules that out. The 4, you know, there's trend there. But kind of came off quite hard. I'd probably prefer something to appear on the 8th. We do have trend, but it's just not the prettiest just because of how hard we fell. Where are we sitting? Pull back into the cradle zone, either to the 50% or the 61.8 would be ideal here. What do we look like here? God, it's quite messy on the 16 because of that. Because of that big dump, the charts didn't really have time to play out. If I can recall correctly, we were looking somewhat bullish the last few days, or prior to the dump, the last few days anyway. So yeah, kind of ruined things, but you know, what can you do? All right, Ripple right now, sideways through here. Can't really count any of these high or anything. It's just kind of come off. And I'd say that would become more evident as you go up. No real trend on the 4. And the weekly is very similar. Monthly is all over the shop. So what are we watching here? Divergent on the 2. 4 hours a tad messy. We may have to just play the waiting game as usual. Let the trades come to us. After the dump, this tends to, or after a big move up or down, this tends to happen when you just have to wait and see which way it goes. You know, as quick as it came down, it can just go up as just as quick. Usually goes down faster than it comes up though. So I've noticed anyway. Ava X, I'll have a geese. I'll have a geese. Okie doke. Let me know if you want me to check any. I got stumbled over my words. Let me know if you want me to check anything out in the little comment box thing. More than happy to go through anything. Any questions you have, more than happy to answer. Just hit us with it. All right. So, good old Sol. Not a Sol survivor anymore, unfortunately. But you know, as you go up, you start to see that it's holding up decently well. It's respecting the averages as it is right now on the 3, and it's just outside on the 4. No point of going to the monthly. Just get from the low to the high. Still a decent way to pull back. I'll check out Bitcoin in a tad. I'm umming and ahhing when I look at this and I'm trying to work out why. Pull back into the cradle zone on the 4. Has to pull back quite deep though. That's my only issue. And I'd say the 8 would look quite similar. Hasn't really eventuated much. It's not the best looking downtrend, let's be honest. Do we have any round numbers or 140, 150? You know, gonna have to wait and see what happens here with this top 10. Gonna have to wait and see indeed. Not really an exciting time, as it looks like right now. They come. They come and they go. And they come again. All right. Dogecoin. Oh, will Elon save Doge? I don't know. I don't know. Who can save it? Not really much telling us on the weekly. Still a downtrend on the 2 to the 4. Because this move wasn't big, you know. It's kind of messed up the averages here. Messed up the trend. I'm not too keen on getting in on anything that looks like this. Where we've had like a short pullback in. There's no real trend because they're equal lows. And a level could appear, you know. And we could get a trade to the downside for the short, for a breakout. But as it stands right now, doesn't look to be anything. And it looks like the 8 hours quite far away too. Nothing wrong with that. We just have to sit on our hands for a tad. Nothing wrong. All right. Dot on the daily. Low, high. Higher, low. Don't have a higher high just yet. But we don't really have a downtrend either. It's kind of tangled up. No real trend on the 4 day, that is. You know, as it is right now, look, I'm not entirely opposed to going short if the daily doesn't agree, but I would sway towards trades or trends that the daily is agreeing with us that it is downtrending as well. The more time frames I've found that agree with the direction of your trade, the higher the probability. Doesn't mean you're going to get a win every single time the daily or the higher time frames are agreeing with you. It just means that that's where the momentum is. All right, or the greater momentum anyway. It needs to pull back quite deep here on the 4. I'd say there's no trend on the 16, so there's no real point of even looking at that. So, Ava, let's have a geese. Let's have a geese at this. Oh, it's held up. And it's actually green today, as opposed to those before it. So good on you, Ava. Doesn't look like there's any trades or any thing of interest here on AVA as it is right now. Look, you have trend, you have convergence. Candle may be a little bit too big though, but hey, times like that, you know, you could go down the time frames and see if there's any levels that are there. Nothing there as it is right now, but you know, it could eventuate in the next few hours or days or whatever it is. All right, Uni had a sell-off, that's for sure, like the entire market, but it's holding up. We have we have an uptrend on the month. Oh, sorry, on the weekly. Monthly we also do as well. On the in the cradle zone on the 2. We have a downtrend here on the 4. You know, but it has to pull back quite deep to get into the cradle zone on the 4. Also, no real trend on the 8. All right, so somebody mentioned a level on Bitcoin. 30-minute breakout to the upside. All right. Let's have a gaze at that. So you just have 2 tests as it is right now. 2, 3 on the 15, that is anyway. 2, 3. Yeah, just a tad too high risk for me. Just of where it's sitting. You'd need to check that against your rules, obviously. I can't make those decisions for you. I'm not jumping at the bid, as you can see. It's just, for something like that, for me, too high risk. What's your thoughts for the end of year BTC prediction? Do you think the bull run's over, or this is a healthy pullback? Look, it's predictions. You know, I could say anything. Do I think the bull run's over? Look, that's gonna change from person to person. Is there a reason for it to be over? Like, why would we sell off, or why would Bitcoin keep being bought up? I don't know. But it looks like more countries are starting to get involved in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. It's starting to become more legit. So long term, it's not. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Let's be honest. It's not going to disappear. What makes it higher risk? Well, just the fact that we're downtrending on the daily. Downtrending on the daily. It's going against the higher time frames, and it's just not. It's. Look, we have 3 tests, but it came off a bit here, and with breakouts, you want it to be all higher lows forming into the level. All right. If you want to learn more, head on over to TRADERCOBB.com. Start off with the free courses. If you want, go and pay for them, because you'll learn the Bitcoin breakout. And yeah, it needs to build up more pressure for me to be super excited of it. Does that make sense? And it's not to say that it won't pop off. That's for sure. Like, sometimes, like, they're high risk for a reason, because they're usually high reward. When you look at something like this, like, I'm playing devil's advocate here, all right? Like, this is my mind pre being risk adverse, all right? So I'd see something like that and be super keen because I could see, oh look, we have so far to pull back here on the daily. You know, I could potentially make a, oh, we're up. Ooh. I could potentially make, oh, it's only 6%, it's not that much. Could be a 6% move in total to the 61.8% fib. That's how my brain used to think. It can work. Don't get me wrong, but it is just too high risk for me. And I only like getting on trades that you know, are a little bit like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes there's a time and a place for high risk trades. I don't think now is the time for that. And just because of how the momentum's looking, you know, there's a bit of fear. It's, yeah, not the time for me. All right. Yeah, higher time frames trump lowers. Yes, usually. What website am I from? Amazon.com. All right. Do you all have any more questions? Happy to go through anything. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. I'll stay for a tad. Just to love you, Winston. Just to let it marinate, because I'll start to, you know, end the stream, and then people will start asking me more questions. Oh, unfortunately, I cannot look at that for you. One, I cannot. There's all legalities behind that pair you asked me to look at. I wish I could. Thank you, Winston. It's a pleasure having you here. Thank you, Papal. Appreciate you all. And thanks a lot, Bill. You're definitely telling the truth. Alrighty. Look, there's nothing coming through, so I'll catch you next time. I'll be doing a watch list tomorrow, so see you all then. Bye for now.